Okay, guys, this is going to be my last try. Can you hear me? Okay. All right. Tell you what, because I can't get in touch with any of you, I'm going to just go ahead and impart my wisdom. Here's what I want to talk about. And Hannah kind of touched on it when she said, and same with Kelsey, done is better than perfect. I made myself do it because I made the commitment to myself. Here's what happens. And I heard this a fantastic quote this week that I really wanted to share with you. 99% is a bitch, 100% is a breeze. 99% is a bitch, 100% is a breeze. Let me explain that for a second. There's a story that I read in the book to go over it. And there's this 75-year-old professor at like Yale or Harvard, and he's got this insane reputation, and he's a professor of, I think it was philosophy or something, and it was Harvard. It wasn't Yale, it was Harvard. And everyone knew this guy because once a month on the full moon, he would have a bowl of ice cream. Other than that, he would walk every day. He would lift weights to the best of his ability. He would eat super, super clean, except on the full moon. That's when he would have his bowl of ice cream. So he was having his retirement party, and like all of the staff from Harvard were there, and his students and his mentees and his colleagues. And of course, they brought out a bowl of ice cream because it was his big retirement party. And he said, I can't have it. It's not a full moon. Anyway, what did they do? They had already anticipated that was going to happen. So 4 of his students came out dressed in moon quarters. And they said, Professor, look, it's a full moon. And he said, no, I know that it's not actually a full moon. And what does this show? That even at 75 years old, he had made a commitment to himself that wasn't circumstantial. He made a commitment that didn't waver, regardless of whether it was a certain time of year or a certain thing that we were celebrating. It was a standard, hard fact, hard truth that it was only time for ice cream when there was an actual full moon. So why is 99% a bitch, but 100% is a breeze? Because it is so much easier to be compliant 100% of the time. If you think about it, giving yourself small allowances, or saying, I'm only going to do it this one time, or I'm only going to cut this one corner, it gives yourself permission to do that more frequently. And then you'll become a subject of your circumstances more and more often. If you let yourself off the hook on Sunday, if you say Sunday's my cheat day, then eventually Saturdays become your cheat day, because we know that weekends eventually just spill over into one another, right? But then when Saturday and Sunday become your cheat days, then you get used to having those foods, and it becomes a Tuesday night where your friends say, do you want to go to the pub? And then you end up cheating on a Tuesday. So that 99% compliance can turn into 0% compliance really quickly. Whereas if you have a steadfast commitment, a steadfast devotion to putting the work in, even when you don't feel like it, it will be so much easier for you to do all the time. And I hope that makes sense. So that's why doing something when you don't feel like it is more important, and like I said, eventually becomes easier than you doing it all the time. Or sorry, you doing it when it's convenient for you. And then I ended up finding examples of what 99% compliance looks like to the rest of the world. Now get this, okay? 99% compliance means that every day there are 2 unsafe landings at O'Hare Airport. 99% compliance means that every hour there are 16,000 pieces of mail lost. 20,000 incorrectly filled drug prescriptions a year. And most important, your heart will fail to beat 32,000 times a year. So guys, like, that doesn't happen, right? Your heart doesn't fail to beat 32,000 times. There are not 16,000 pieces of mail lost every year, and there are not 2 unsafe landings at O'Hare Airport. But that's not the point. The point is that O'Hare Airport and the Postal Service and even your body, in terms of your heart beating, have come up with mechanisms to ensure 100% compliance, because you do not want to give yourself even one opportunity to slip up, because you don't want that to turn into an action that you repeat, which subsequently becomes a habit. So, guys, 99% is a bitch, 100% is a breeze. Huge shout out to Hannah and Kelsey, who discovered it even if they didn't think that they were discovering it. Don't let yourselves off the hook, guys. You are worth more than that. Your goals are worth more than that. Self-esteem, self-worth, I talk about it all the time. The best way to build up your self-confidence is to keep the promises you make to yourself. How many of you have slipped up for one meal, not even a whole day, just one meal, and the entire day goes to shit? You're like, my self-worth, and I'm so bad at this, and Jamie's going to be disappointed. First of all, that's not true. I'm not disappointed. I would be disappointed if you didn't sign up with me in the first place, because that would show a lack of commitment and the fact that you didn't want something and you didn't know you could do better. But if you try and slip up, I'm not disappointed, because at least you made the effort. But we have to start, even if today is technically your first day of promising yourself a perfect, or not a perfect week, but a compliant week, then that's okay. You can start fresh from today moving forward. Keep the promises you make to yourself. Make sure that your self-esteem is as high as possible. All right, be that 75-year-old. You guys are so young. I've got such a young group. You've like 50 years worth of promises you can keep to yourself that'll build your self-esteem up over time and ensure that you become this strong-willed human that that nothing can stop you. You are unwavering in your convictions and your goals and your commitments to yourself. I just know that I am proud of all of you. I got a couple emails from clients this week who I had to chase for updates because they said, listen, they're not going to be good. I don't want to send them to you. And I'm like, guys, hiding isn't how we bring you out of the hole. If you were walking and you fell into like a trap door or something, how would I know where to look for you if you didn't cry out for help? I'd be roaming around the forest or wherever trying to find you, but with no idea of where you are. If you have a rough week, if you have a rough day, if you have a shitty workout or a cheat day, that's totally fine, but you have to yell out for help so that I can find you. All right, so please don't be scared of your trainer. I appreciate all of you. I'm glad to have you on my roster. I really wish I could have seen and heard from all of you today. I know that a lot of you could have used it this week. I will send everyone a recording of this just to make sure that you hear it. So yeah, guys, have a fantastic week. Love you all. Please, please, please email me, text me, get in touch with me this week to let me know how we're doing. For a lot of you, this is the end of the 4th week. For some of you, this is the end of the 3rd week. But either way, I want whatever happens next, whatever this coming week looks like to you, to be successful. Okay? 100% is a breeze, I assure you. All right, guys, again, I'm really sorry for the technical difficulties. I will figure it out before our next meeting, but love you, appreciate you. We'll see you next Sunday.